Go to the club and I know I make it rain. Jump in the Bentley like it is arranged.
Yo, what's good, y'all boys, man? Well, again, I'm back in with another video. Today, we reacting to how money caused the downfall of Too Hype. Now, if y'all don't know, I used to be a big Too Hype fan, you know? A big Bucket Squad fan, too, I'm not gonna lie. I stopped watching them as soon as the Mopey situation happened. To this day, I don't even really know what happened. Because I'm really, after that shit, Mopey dropped this video, I'm like, oh, nah, fuck these niggas. And then they say he was lying, and it was this, and it was that. I said, alright, I don't know who to believe, so I'm not watching none of these things. Back in 2020, I'm younger, so I'm also commenting on the Too Hype channel, L Hype.
So before we had groups like AMP, we had another group that was very successful early on YouTube, and this group had quickly taken the internet and specifically the basketball community by storm, consisting of multiple popular YouTubers at the time that seemingly the entire world seemed to know and love. But unfortunately, like many groups we've seen over the years, all of this will end up eventually. But unfortunately,
what was his name again? 50 Cal Mal. Oh my god.
Many groups we've seen over the years, all of this will end up eventually going downhill. So how could a group that consisted of genuine...
I'm sorry for pausing a lot, but yo, this frame right here is crazy, bro. Mopey and Low still in Too Hype, nigga.
Childhood friends and even blood brothers come to an ultimate demise. Well, that's probably what you're here to figure out. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to
Jess's brother.
Tribals with the biggest trapper.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Don't forget to click that very first link down below in my description to join my Discord server and become an official member of the community. Now, with all of that being said, let's get into how money ruined Too Hype.
I'm Davis.
Okay, so to start, in this video, we're going to be talking about the once popular YouTube group that went by the name of Too Hype. And this group consisted of multiple popular YouTubers that have became household names over the years, such as Cash Nasty, LSK, Jezza the Laser, Zach TTG, Los Polos, and of course Mopey, who's a very important part of this entire story. Which is ironic because out of all of the people I just named, he's probably the one who you're not too familiar with. But the rest of these creators have been huge on the internet for years now, specifically within the 2K community. Every creator within the group practically started off their careers by playing the popular basketball game NBA 2K, which we happen to mention a lot on this channel.
Good,
now, as some of you may know, over the years, 2K did manage to die out drastically, which practically forced some of the more popular 2K creators to change up the type of content that they did, which led most of these creators to resort to doing some type of IRL style content.
This isn't really when 2K died though. Kinda. This is when 2K18 dropped. Look at Cash Nasty, bro. A young Cash Nasty in the wild. I wouldn't say young, but a younger Cash Nasty.
Simple like vlogs or challenges. So with all of these creators switching up their content around the same time, this is what led to a few members sparking a friendship, which would lead to the very beginning of the group that we know today as Too Hype. Now, the oldest video on the Too Hype channel is a video from June 5th, 2019, but Too Hype actually started quite some time before this. Some of the oldest videos I can find came around September 2016 when YouTubers like LSK, Jezza the Laser, and Zach TTG had all gotten their own content house together, but at the time, this house would simply be known as the 2K house. Obviously because the three people living in it played NBA 2K. So for about a year, the three of them would create various forms of content within this house, and this led to all of them seeing very substantial growth over the entire time period. And because of how well this was going, it led to them even recruiting other 2K YouTubers to the house as well, such as a popular YouTuber at the time who went by the name of TD Presents.
What about TD?
Yo.
Oh, yeah, TD Presents.
He's also, TD and Los left early on. Now I'm remembering, bro. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, YouTube, bro. I feel bad for niggas who wasn't a part of 2017, 2016 YouTube. Because there was so much shit going on.
So where should I put my stuff?
And of course, not to mention, there was also another very popular YouTuber who was featured heavily in all of these creators' content at the time as well. And of course, we're talking about the one and only Cash Nasty. Now, at the time, Cash had his own life and family going on back home in Louisiana. So due to that, he never officially moved into this 2K house. So the other four creators that I just previously named would be the only ones staying within this house for about a year. And around summer of 2017, everything would end up completely changing. The YouTubers had grown so much by staying within their original house, and just in a year's time, they were able to get a much bigger and better house And of course, having a house with more space meant having much more room for other creators. So in July of 2017, shortly after getting this new house, a creator by the name of Mopey, who also happened to be one of Jesu's childhood friends, will end up moving into this new house along with
they all knew each other, bro.
Which in retrospect, I guess you could say would be the beginning of the downfall for 2Hype. But as you all know, before something collapses down to the ground,
I wouldn't say the beginning, bro. The beginning was when Jai Dell walked in that bitch. Nigga, I'm
have to build it up, and that's exactly what the group began to do. In August of 2017, a familiar face in Zach TTG would end up moving into the new house as well, along with a new member of the crew who went by the name of Los Polos TV. So at this point, they basically had a full house of popular content creators, not to mention the other creators who were also coming and going as well, such as Cash and his best friend 50 Cal Mao. And with all of these creators coming together, creating all of this content together, growing substantially all over the internet, they realized that there wasn't really time to expand beyond being called just the 2K house. And in September of 2017, the group would officially become 2Hype.
Moosey peeps, Christopher London, and welcome to the first official 2Hype upload.
Yo guys, what's going on? And welcome to the first 2Hype video.
Yo, what's good, everybody? You guys see it, man.
We got the man, I fidget like a rock star.
What is it?
2Hype.
2Hype, not 2K house. 2Hype, yo.
Yo, every nigga 2017. Same instrumentals, bro. Lil Yachty, Cardi, Uzi, Post Malone, like niggas that had a playlist of the same instrumentals, bro.
In fact, some of them already had over 1 million subs on YouTube at the time. And side note, for those of you that don't know, 1 million subscribers on YouTube back then was like unheard of.
I'm
like, now
saying, I keep pausing. I don't give a fuck, bro. 1 million subs on YouTube was like real grinder, real popular shit. Y'all don't know, bro. I'm telling you, bro. If you had 1 million subs before 2017, you was that nigga. 100K subs, that plaque was the same size as you, nigga. That shit, bro.
1 million subscribers on YouTube back then was like unheard of. Like now you kind of see a lot of people with 1 million. Back then people just weren't having 1 million subscribers. But anyways, with some of these creators already being as successful as they were, of course when they started this group, they all would end up seeing much more success. At the time, there really wasn't many popular content groups or content houses on the internet, especially outside of the Call of Duty community. So this was something new and refreshing for not only
these card videos,
but for the basketball community as a whole. 2Hype began doing various forms of content both individually and as a group. But of course, the basis of all of their content has always been friends playing basketball, whether it was playing against one another or simply just doing some type of challenge. 2Hype quickly began building a true audience. Many people just love seeing the group of friends come together and play basketball and do all of these other fun things and challenges together. This led to viewers really being able to relate to the content they were producing, because obviously everyone plays like sports and games and things like that with their friends in real life. So a lot of people on the internet who came across this content were quickly attracted towards the group. But as 2Hype continued to grow, this feeling of friendship that the group was built on slowly started fading away.
This group right here was like damn near perfect, bro.
2Hype became more about the business aspect and growing as a brand more than really caring about the original friendship that got them there in the first place. More and more drama would begin to arise around the time 2Hype was once again about to get a better content house. But the problem was they wanted people within this house that they knew were going to work hard and show up every day to get the best content possible, which unfortunately led to people like Mao, TD, and Los Polos getting officially cut out of the group due to them being located further away or just simply not showing up for a couple of shoots in general.
A schedule that we're gonna start doing now that we've moved out. We're getting a
couple of shoots in general.
Yo, I remember this shit, bro. Yo, watching this vid, I'm like, what the fuck? These niggas, fuck these niggas, bro. Look at the KineMaster logo. I used to use KineMaster on my Android, bro. This is some 2019 shit, bro. Damn.
That we're gonna start doing now that we've moved out. We're getting settled in. Like, things are gonna move really quick and like at a large scale, and like we didn't want to just put it like the group channel out and stuff and like not have you like aware, and then also like given that we see like we're kind of like foreshadowing like looking forward to where this movement's gonna go, and like we didn't see like you being like a part of it. We also just wanted to like come to you and like we'd hope that you could build like your own narrative as to how like we're not like together. Like, you know, we wanted you to like let us know like how you wanted to go about that. Like, are you like, do you plan on, because we didn't want to like publicly say this and everything. I think like we told Los, like you guys can like build your narrative, you know, like
yeah, we want it to be like you are like stepping away from Too Hype and going your own way because you want to focus on yourself and like you feel like it would be easier to do it, you know, that way. You also don't want to just come out and say like, yeah, we kicked TD out and like have like some sort of negative connotation towards you, or have the fans have some negative connotation towards you, because we don't want to affect you in that. And like Cash was saying, like it's not like, and Chris was saying, it's not like we still can't make videos. Like it's not like you can't come over, or, like can't play games together. You can't text us whenever you need something. Like we're still boys.
I had no idea Los was ever even in Too Hype. What happened, you know, with that? I don't.
I'll try to give y'all,
because you and Los.
Nah, Cash was a real nigga though, bro.
That whole situation got nothing to do. I put it here, bro. Did not answer that, bro.
Yep.
You know how AMP is, bro. What they, you know, like I think Phantom had like a little situation. I don't know if it's mental, whatever went on with, but like he went away from videos for a minute.
Yeah, he just took a step back for like a month or I don't know how long it was, but
we should have done it. We should have been more giving on that, but it wasn't up to me, bro. You know,
of course.
We try to run it too much as a business. I feel like if we would kept it more like, you know, like bro, he needs a time, bro. You know, and not, you know, tally up. Okay, he didn't come to the shoot right here. You know, I feel like, you know, the group would have been even more stronger, bro. You know, because people go through things in life, bro.
100%.
Everybody got different perspectives and different situations, circumstances, bro. Yeah, bro. I feel like if we would have ran it like that, bro, I feel like the group would be even more stronger. And I feel like that ultimately would kind of like was the downfall, because like when you running it like that, it's become more business and not more.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking, like, okay, yeah, Los Polos not showing up could be unprofessional and things like that. But a thought that I always had was like, how did Mal get kicked out when him and Cash literally were traveling from the same exact area at one point? Which, as I got older, I realized like it was never really about how far they had to travel or shoots or any of that. It was just simply about having less people, because when dealing with a group, less people simply means more money that each individual is making. So Too Hype ended up downsizing the group a bit, and the group consisted of just Cash, Jezzer, Zach, LSK, Mopey,
Jidel, bro. I'm telling you, that nigga was the downfall of Too Hype. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't hate nobody. I don't hate him. I mean, if you asked me in 2020, I would have said I hate this nigga. But I'm telling you, bro, this 6 right here was still good content, though. I'm not gonna lie. 2019 Too Hype was still okay. You know, this 6 right here was still good content. But as soon as Mopey left, it was like, all right. AMP's the greatest group of all time.
And Jezzer's brother Jidel. This led to June 15, 2019, where the group would launch their first official video on the official Too Hype channel. And for about a year, things would once again end up growing great for Too Hype. They were extremely consistent with content. They were growing rapidly, quickly becoming one of the largest content groups on the entire internet. And for the most part, they did all of this by sticking to the same style of content they've done for years. But very similar to the early problems that the group had, they eventually ran into a lot of internal conflict, which also led to a lot of public drama amongst the group. The drama will begin around early December, shortly after Too Hype announced a very big deal, which included the group joining another popular
Mopey wasn't a part
that
of
went
it
by the name of 100 Thieves. Fans would notice that someone was missing from this entire announcement. And not only was this person a longtime member of the group, he was also Jezzer's childhood friend. Mopey was a fan favorite of the group, so of course people wanted to know where he's been, why no one was mentioning him, and why wasn't he included in the announcement of the 100 Thieves deal. Well, just a week later after this announcement, the world will finally get the answers to their questions after Mopey made a post to Twitter calling the group L Hype and stating that only Cash and...
Oh my god! Yo, this day was so crazy, bro. I got the notification for this shit. I thought he was hacked, and then he posted this shit not hacked. I'll be explaining in time. I'm like, no, I'm thinking he just gone for a few vids.
Cool. So this led to fans believing that Mopey had either been kicked out of the group or he had been simply hacked, but Mopey would end up quickly putting out a tweet that let fans know neither of those things were true. So after people heard this news, fans were left wondering what really went wrong between Mopey and 2Hype. But before Mopey himself could get out his own video stating his piece and talking about what happened between him and the rest of the group, his longtime friend Jesser would quickly upload a video accusing Mopey of having all of these problems, and he also tried to paint Mopey out to be some form of like unstable alcoholic.
Obviously Tyler hasn't been around the last couple months really, like uploading or on social media. He's been going through a lot mentally, been fighting some serious demons. I'm not gonna go too in depth on that as his personal thing, but Tyler, I'm worried about you, dude. Like I said, I would take this whole thing offline. I reached out to your mom, expressing my worries. I talked to your brother for an hour, bro. He's really worried about you. Like you've been hiding things from him. Tyler, I tried calling you. Please just call me back. You don't respond to me or the guys. Like, we want to help you. I'm not gonna go in depth. It's very personal, all of this stuff. Like, Tyler, I literally saw you the other day after this happened. I told you I loved you, bro. You hugged me and then you don't respond to me. I haven't been able to sleep at night. Like, all I've tried to do is help this man. Obviously, I'm gonna try to keep everything offline. Like, I'm gonna try to talk to your family more because I'm worried about you, bro. I've known you forever. And all the people, like, hating on me, saying I snaked my, like, you know nothing, bro. Y'all are fueling someone who's not okay. Imagine just, like, shitting on me when you know nothing about me and Tyler's relationship or what he's going through or what I'm going through. I just don't get it, man.
Now, of course, this made Mopey look kinda crazy and fans kinda began to turn on him, but Mopey did the right thing and quickly followed up this video with his own video. And in this almost hour-long video, Mopey discussed the truth about various members of the group, including how they only cared about money and content.
When we made the VR channels, he took 51% of my VR channel. Like, all those channels were just started up for money because the VR channels were the fastest growing at the time. He took 51% of my channel and then bragged about it. And another story too, just how like selfish this dude is, and actually all the guys, this applies to all of them, but we were in a Discord call when it was time for Moochie to join 2Hype. We were talking and I was put it out there. I was like, hey, is anybody else willing to give up a % or two so Mitchell feels more part of the group? Nobody wanted to. He's just on a tiny salary now. Mitchell doesn't own a % of 2Hype. Jesser was not willing to give up 1% for our elementary school friend, one of the dudes that adds the most to the group, pure good person, funny, entertainment. These guys in Jesser could not give up 1% for him. We could have all given up a %, and he could have had 6% of 2Hype. That sounds amazing to me. But no, he's just on a tiny salary because they can. Because it's a business. It's not for fun. It's not for fun or friendship. It's a business. Put like this text in, like this is a great example of the kind of support these guys offer as friends. Talking about starting a drinking problem and stopping it and just trying to get better. And then everybody only has time to just
nigga, that's today.
Just thumbs up. Not a single word of encouragement or anything. And just goes back to talking about video shit. And it's like, okay, cool, great support. And then we got Jesser over here immediately texting me after once he sees that for me to be in his sponsored video. Like, I hadn't talked about these issues I've been having. And then he doesn't even acknowledge it. He just asked me to be in his sponsored video.
Next, Mopey would take the time to clear his name and also rebuttal his old friend's Jesser claims against him, while also exposing a little bit of truth about Jesser as well.
I don't even know what to say. And in the eyes too, like he probably just rubbed his eyes and started to just get watery eyes. Like it's an act. It's all manipulation.
You know how heartbroken I was when this shit all came out, bro.
That's all they all care about. That's it. And they'll say and do anything to keep that. And then thinking it's okay to paint me as mentally unstable online just because I'm saying F the group, L hype, and he's trying to like it's just so mind-boggling how
silence him.
Like what happened. And it's really sad, but I'm just getting away from it. I'm not gonna rack my brain over trying to change people. And Jesse wants to go online and say I'm fighting serious demons. Like, no, they're the only demons I'm fighting, those guys, because they're trying to paint me out to be mentally unstable. Because those substances that are legal in my state, like I can smoke and I can drink and I could use nicotine products. And they're trying to paint me out as crazy for that stuff. Like, I don't, like, it it's a joke to mental illness, and that they like care, and it's just such a joke, and it makes me sick, honestly.
There was really a lot to break down within this video. Mopey talked about literally everyone and everything that was going on with 2Hype over the past few years. He even exposed some messages that LSK has sent within the 2Hype group chat regarding people like Los Polos as well. Now, after all of this, of course, all of the members put up their own responses to Mopey, and none of them really, owned up to anything that Mopey said.
Did Chris posted his vid talking about it? And then deleted it, because I remember niggas was like, this is some bullshit.
Out of everyone, I think Cash probably had the most neutral stance. Even in a recent podcast that Cash would do with FaZe Swag, he detailed this entire thing as just two childhood friends going down different paths of life.
With the Mopey situation, bro, I feel like that was more personally with, I feel like my perspective. Because me, when that whole drama shit going on, bro, I try to
stay out of it.
I ain't want to hear the shit, man.
Yeah.
You know, I did my little video, bro. I was beating around the bush. I'm like, I don't know what's really is the gist of it. I feel like it was more like childhood friends, one person going one path, and the other person going another path, and one person just not seeing the exact same view as a person.
Yep.
Not knowing if this person going this path right here is still going to bring you with this person. It's not that they're outgrowing. It's just that, hey, I'm going this direction right here. We all can go here. If we manifest this right, we all can get here, bro.
We all can eat.
Exactly. And I feel like it
Swag
came down
is so
on
ugly, bro.
personal level with friendship in the past.
Now, after this, 2Hype did initially get a lot of hate at the time.
Yeah.
That hate was mostly specifically directed towards Jezer because he was Mopey's best friend, and also LSK because of the messages that got exposed and things like that as well. But the hate didn't really last long at all for them or for the rest of the group at all, because while Mopey left the internet and started focusing more on himself and his real life, 2Hype would continue to post content, and they continued to do very well on YouTube for about the next 2 years. But unfortunately, the last 2Hype video would end up being posted on February 5th, 2023. After taking a 2-month-long break, 2Hype decided that it was probably best just to bring this entire thing to a close. Now, this wasn't a forceful end or something where they just all fell off and gave up completely. It was actually something completely different. According to a few members, they all just started growing a little older, with some of them being in their late 20s and early 30s, and also having kids, and wives, and just families of their own. They simply just had more things to focus on than 2Hype content. Now, this didn't stop any of them from doing videos together or anything like that. In fact, I honestly don't know if Jezer used Mopey as some form of sacrifice or something, but his entire life completely changed over a few recent years. In just the last few years alone, Jezer has gained millions of subscribers, making him the biggest basketball creator on YouTube with over 30 million subscribers. And he's even managed to do a few partnerships with the NBA as well, such as being featured in the NBA Celebrity Game. Now, for everyone else that was once a member of 2Hype, most of them are still doing pretty well in their careers. Los is still at the top of the game in streaming. Cash achieved his...
I'm glad Los came back though, bro.
In their careers. Los is still at the top of the game in streaming. Cash just achieved his lifelong goal of meeting LeBron James, which everyone literally loved. Zach TTG also still kinda does well on YouTube as well, and Jidel are probably the least consistent of the bunch, but some of their videos still do pretty well here and there. The only former 2Hype member who did recently at all is TD Presents. He switched over to doing Madden and college football gameplay, which haven't done that well recently, but he also hasn't posted in 4 months, so maybe that's the problem. And lastly, Mopey, who basically left the internet completely after the falling out with 2Hype over 4 years ago. He would recently make a video just 3 weeks ago updating fans about his current life.
Yeah, I'm 26 now. I posted on my Instagram this picture. 26, 2 years sober, back to YouTube. Yeah, what have I been up to really? Just like I meet a lot of you guys at work. I work at a casino. Super chill, super happy with it. So that's like my main thing. And then YouTube and streaming, I'm at a really great point in my life where I could just casually come back to it and I don't gotta stress. You know, it's not what's putting a roof over my head and food on my plate. That's my main job. So I can just have fun with the streaming and YouTube, and that's pretty much it. You know, where's it going with that though? Yeah, I meet a lot of you guys.
He looks like a nigga who would work at a casino. Anyways, bro, W Mopey, W Really, it was Jai though. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah. Let me know what y'all think. Was y'all even watching Too Hype, bro? Cause I was an actual Too Hype nigga, bro. I was watching them niggas heavy.